Lunchlecture. I'm going to talk today about the district-oriented approach with use of spatial data. In Dutch we call this the wijkgerichte aanpak, but in English it has to be a lot more words. So, I will start today with a short introduction of myself, then a shorter introduction of Van Wijnen, because I hope you all know Van Wijnen already. Then I will talk about the district-oriented approach, and I will dive into the data tool we have developed at Van Wijnen. I will start off with myself. I'm Gwen. I'm a data analyst. I did my bachelor's at TU Delft. I studied architecture, like almost all of you here, I think. Then I did a board year at SAS Delft. That's a study association that is remodeling or rebuilding old offices into student housing. Because of the shortage of student housing in Delft, they had an association to do that, and I was like done with study and theoretical thinking, so I wanted to do more practical stuff, and that is what I learned during this board year. So I really enjoyed that. Then I followed with my master's. I did MADE, Metropolitan Analysis, Design and Engineering. It was a new master's in Amsterdam, combined the TU Delft with Wageningen University. So it was both the more technical side of the TU Delft and the more environmental side of Wageningen. So it was a nice combination of the two. And then 2 years ago I graduated and I started working at Van Wijnen as a data analyst. So that's me. Van Wijnen. Can I see some hands who already knows Van Wijnen? That's not a lot of hands, so maybe the introduction is getting a little bit bigger. I will start with a short video. Sorry guys, it's in Dutch, because yeah, we're a Dutch company, so it's really difficult to make like English content if the Wi-Fi is working. Okay, never mind. Last try. No videos for us today. Then I will stay with my PowerPoint. Yes. Okay, Van Wijnen is een... yeah, it's okay. Van Wijnen is a... spread over the Netherlands. It's really small but big. So we have more like the family offices, like smaller companies into a big company. So we have the advantage of being small, but also the advantage of being big. So we have 25 vestigingen, locations, and so it is always close by, and always it feels like home. And we're always close by. We have some core values. That is sincere, driven, and groundbreaking. So that's the core values of Van Wijnen. And we have a full service policy. So we do development, we do the building, we do renovation, we do transformation, and we do the management. So we have this full package of work what we do. And we have something nice. We have the Fijn Wonen factory. That's a factory that makes houses. So it increases the speed of the building process. It doesn't take weeks, months, years anymore, but it can be as fast as one day to build a house. I also have a video, so I hope it works. Let's see. No video again. Yes, we're building the future together. And we have some challenges that we face. Because of the construction, we produce a lot of CO2. But also a lot of water is used during construction. And that can be better. We have to do better. For a future, for a more livable environment, we have to do better. So we made ourselves some goals. I don't want to go. We made ourselves some goals. So we want to be in 2050, we want to be CO2 neutral. But actually, we want to have it in 3 years already. So we want to do it in 2025 instead of 2050. And we're working really hard to get there, to make homes remountable, affordable, and more environmental friendly. Then we come to the district-oriented approach we made, de wijkgerichte aanpak. It involves a lot of stakeholders, and it's all about bringing them together and looking at a different way of a certain plot. So it's not that we're gonna zoom in to the plot and only look at the plot itself, but instead we zoom out and we look at the district. We look at the neighborhood. We're looking at who's living there, what do they want, what are their stakes, their values, and how are we gonna bring them together? How are we gonna make them a better future or better living environment? And actually our first step is the data. So first we look at our data tool and we look what is happening here in this district, in this neighborhood. Who's living here? What is the state of the buildings, the dwellings? Are they old? Are they new? Do they need some renovation? Do we need to rebuild something? And also, is it still fits the purpose that people are using it? So are people living at the right place for them? Are families living in family houses and are maybe elderly living in elderly homes? Or more suitable than maybe a family house? So it's also a lot about people. It's all about people. We do work for people. We make better living environments for them, for the people. But also about areas, neighborhoods, urban spaces. It has to fit in the urban fabric of a certain space and a certain spot. It has to be future-proof. We always have to think about the future and the coming goals. And but it's also about the housing corporations. Who is active where and how can they provide good housing? Also about some social real estate. This is more about the places where people meet. So maybe a park or a library or a social home. And last but not least, the municipality is a really important stakeholder in this whole story. They have to get involved, but also agree with all the plans we make. Then I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into the district-oriented approach with the use of spatial data. I'm gonna talk about the data collection and the chapters that the tool includes. So the safety, housing quality, the housing situation, district composition, the prediction data, and I will finish with a small summary. So first the data. Where is the data coming from? Most of it is public data, so a lot of data is coming from the CBS, but also from the police is handing out like lots of public data, but we also buy some data. So the WISE data is bought, and this is all the cookies. All of you say, yeah, cookies, you can have my cookies, that's fine, that's okay. And we buy their data from all the cookies they collected. So it's about like the Albert Heijn, the bonus card. You agreed to have the cookies taken, but also the IKEA family member, for example, and lots more. With the WISE data, we make models. So we make certain groups of people. So we have a group, let's say, says students. That's not every student is the same, but you fit all in this group students. And maybe some don't fit in. Maybe they fit in another group. And then we're gonna dive into the tool. Can you all read it? Also in the back, can you read it? Okay, here you see all like these meters. And this is an index. And we said the index, we make the index 100 is the average of the municipality. So if it's lower than the index 100, it means that it scores worse than the average of the municipality. So if it's better than 100, then it's better than the average of the municipality. So can somebody tell me what they are seeing here? Is this is the neighborhood of here. This is this area. It is the postal code 6512. Can somebody tell me what's going on here? What do you see? Somebody made sense of this this tool? I can say it. The safety is not really well here, because you can see it is red, but it's also 58. 58 is like far below the 100, so that's not good. But also the community, it's also red. It's 72. That's also not good. It's also below the 100. And now we can dive in to the specifics. So I can let you see what's really happening here. Or at least, not really, but what the data tells me that is happening. So here we have the safety page. Here you see the areas that are worse or better than others using colors. So the red color in the map, that's where it's bad. And the green colors is where it's better or good. And we also have some graphs here. And they specifically say what is happening in this area. So which type of crime that is more often happening here than in general in the municipality. So there is a lot of disturbance, overlast, and a lot of alcohol overlast. That's not really surprising, I guess, with a university. And there's also, it's really close to this station. So with the trains coming and going, maybe that gives some disturbance as well. But also a lot of confused persons here in this area. I don't know if that combines with the use of alcohol and disturbance and that kind of stuff, but maybe. So that's really insightful that you can see this lots of what's happening in this area. Then we go to the next one. This is the housing quality. So this says what is the housing quality here in this district. It's the same with the index, and here the total index is 28.3. So that's almost 100. So that's seems okay. But on the other hand, you see the gas use is a lot below the 100. So it's getting worse there. And if you look at the energy labels, it's also not that bad. So if you look at the last one, the E or higher, it's only in this area, it's only 4%. Instead of the whole area of Eindhoven, the whole municipality, it's 14%. So the state of the buildings here is better. Then we go to the housing situation. This means which people are living in which houses and does that fit. So family houses, families in family houses, and more elderly maybe in smaller elderly houses. And here you can see that the family houses, that's the one in the middle. Gezin in de kleine woning. A family in a small house, small dwelling. And we said if 3 persons living in a dwelling less than 80 square meters, it's small. It's too small. And if a family of 4 is living in less than 100 square meters, it's also small. So it's a small house. And this means that maybe in Eindhoven, in the city center, there has to be built bigger family houses to suit all these families and to give them more space. And that is one of the things you can take out of this kind of analysis, that the type of housing you can build for certain types of people so that they can live more spacious, more happily, more healthy, you name it. But we also have this for the ground-bound houses, for the group of 65 plus. Maybe their children, if they had a family, maybe their children already moved out. Maybe the house is too big. Maybe they're still living in the house, the family house where they had their children, and they're kept living there. Maybe that doesn't suit anymore. Maybe it does, but maybe it doesn't. So let's question that and talk with the people and look if they want something different. Because maybe there isn't something different that they would want to have. So they stay in their family house. What is not suitable anymore, maybe not suitable anymore for them. So that are interesting things to think about before you start building. But to check what is happening in the district, in the area, what do the people want? What can you see from the data, and what is the data telling you to build or to do? Maybe it's telling you to talk to the people, ask what they want. And maybe it's telling you, maybe they want this. And maybe you can just build it and ask if they want it. Then we also have the district contribution. In a district, you almost always want all different kind of people. That's the best for a district, neighborhood to work. Because then people that work at evenings, they go work and people are home. And this is good for the dynamics in the districts. And here you can see this area, this group of people that are young people. People that go to universities, go study, young people. And for here, it's not strange. But if this happens at a random space, random district in a city, it can be strange and it can be disturbing for a certain area to have all the same types of people, or not types, but same age as people. It really can disturb an area. Then we have a prognosis tool. So what do we need in the future to build in certain areas? This is for the whole Eindhoven. So this is not specifically for this spot. And the two things that are needed the most for the future are apartments, and mostly the social rent apartments, and row houses also in the rent area. So now if the municipality is coming us to ask what is needed in the city, sometimes they don't know. So we can use this tool to show them what might be needed and start a conversation. That's also the way we use this tool, to start a conversation, to back up or onderbuikgevoel, to give them some facts. Okay, I hoped a little more contribution from the public, but I made a short summary for the analysis you just saw from here, this area, the university space. The safety can be improved because it was really low, so there can be things done to improve safety. Also, you saw a lot of gas use in the houses from the housing quality. So maybe they have to be better insulation for this type of houses. We also saw many families in small houses. So maybe they can be built more family houses, bigger family houses. Also, we saw many students. I don't think that's a problem here, but we saw it. Oh yeah, and I didn't show, but there's a low car ownership. You can see it here. There, autobezit. More than half of the people don't have a car. That's also not strange for students. But in this tool, it's always good to ask yourself, what am I seeing? Is this normal? Is this strange? Why is this strange? What can we do? What can we improve? What is possible? Is there someone who wants to see their own district where they're living in the tool? Now is the chance. What do you think we're gonna see in your area? Okay. Let's see. Again, what was your zip code? While we wait, are there some other questions in the audience? Because in the Netherlands you have really difference between cities. So in some cities, the standard is a lot higher than in other cities. So if you compare it to an average standard set, neighborhoods can score worse while they may be the best neighborhood in the area. Yeah? Yeah, it's just a choice we made to compare it to the city itself and not to, but we're gonna broaden it with the Netherlands to compare the city with the average of the Netherlands to see how the city is compared to the Netherlands and then how the district is compared to the city. Okay. You forgot that there are a lot of old people here in this area, right? It doesn't seem to be a lot of old people because that's the old people bar is the gray one, and here this one. So this is this group, our old one. This isn't the same. Yes, this is your area, right? So you still see a lot of young people on this side. And this is the old people group, and this is the old people group. So if you compare it to the city of Eindhoven, it's not that many. But maybe it seems for you that many. So that's also good. No, but that's also good. So data is just a beginning. And then you start a conversation. And then you notice different things for different people. You said a lot of family, right? Lots of families. But also a lot of people that don't have children. If you hear here, gezinsverdeling, no children is this diagram. And these are the people with children. So, but it's really nice to see that you think that it's something. Yeah? Yeah? You can't go to a house address. You can't. Yeah? Yeah, yeah. And we say that it's, we see the square meters of a house, and we see how many people are living there. So we made the comparison. If there are 3 people living in less than 80 square meters, then it's too less. Then they need more space. And for a family of 4, we said if it's less than 100 square meters, then they also have too little space. Are there some other questions? No, we can see it for every city, village. I think if there are no other questions, I will thank you for your attention and have a nice day.
Well, thank you very much for giving these lectures. We have a small present from you from Geops. It's a bottle of wine and our magazine. If you have any question you're afraid to ask him with all the audience, you can still come to Gwen and ask your questions. If you need your My Future Points, come to the back. You can scan your card and you get your My Future Points. Thank you all for coming.